Okay, welcome back to Billy Ho Sports. Continuing coverage of Saratoga racing this weekend. I have preview videos and picks for Grade One Alabama and Grade Two Lake Placid already released. Check those out. Today, our focus is in filling out that late pick five races 8 through 12. So we've got 3 races to cover. The summer is absolutely loaded with great racing. So be on the lookout. I got a big Travers preview coming up very soon. So, being the sole creator behind this channel, subscribing to my channel and clicking that like button, leaving comments, all that kind of stuff, sharing on social media, spreads my content on YouTube, and very much appreciated. It doesn't cost you anything but a little bit of time. So, if you would like to help support the show in other ways, check out the description of the video. There are ways to contribute. And as always, I appreciate all the support. So let's get going. We are going to start with a quick weather update. So it looked like there was going to be a pretty significant amount of rain over the weekend, starting on Saturday, but that's looking like it's pushing later into Saturday night, Sunday. So I think other than a shower passing through Saturday, we should be good to go weather-wise. So we start with number 8, and that's going to be 9 furlongs, mile and an eighth on the dirt. An N1X 110K allowance race. So a pretty good field here, and not really seeing anything up top here as far as the first few horses. Chad Brown has the top 2, but neither one of them, other than jockeys and trainers, look all that good toward the win. Your par speed is going to be a 95 for this race, and these are not sniffing it, actually regressing a little bit on the 1 and the 84. This one is digital ops, might be interesting. Second time Lasix, 29%. I didn't include it in the pick 5 though. I think probably just needs another big jump in class rather than coming out here. So D-Day Sky, I kind of felt the same way about. Did have a nice maiden 80K win. So I passed on that one, passed on Bank Frenzy, even though third in Prime Power. Rudy Rodriguez, Luis Saez. Luis Saez not having the best meet, although he does have 2 wins in his last 3 starts, which is good for Louis that he's getting some positive regression, because he's only been about 10% in 108 mounts, and that's not typical Louis. Jackson Heights was a no-go for me, even though it did have pretty good speed figure in this, but it was just an optional claiming 45K. Significant drop from the Kingston. Rocketeer is the first one. Obviously, it's first in Prime Power. Brad Cox, Tyler Gaffleone. Really solid effort in the last race. Just didn't quite get there for Moore's Law. Then the Matt Wynn previous to that chased pretty hard, was right there amongst the leaders and just couldn't quite hold off Society Man and Houday. And Society Man and Houday each went out their next races and finished third, so they didn't improve, I would think, off those starts, but they didn't exactly regress either. So pretty solid company in that race. Rocketeer is going to be probably one of my top choices. Indefinite use in the pick 5. Game Warden, probably another one that I will use in the pick 5. Norm Cassie, Ricardo Santana hookup, 22% last out. Nice win, 102 speed figure. You got to like that. Was just an allowance for 50K, but so it is kind of a jump, but still ran pretty well in some other previous races down the line here. Gulfstream Park had a little success. So Game Warden sort of in there, maybe looking to put the parlay this into a better result this time around. Probably not the top choice, but can't exclude Django, probably pass on that one. I like Donegal Surges. My top two are 6 and 9 in this race. Of course, second in Prime Power. It's Todd Pletcher. It's IRAD. You can't go wrong there. 100 speed figure in a stakes race for 200K. Second, Drake's Passage actually came out, was just a huge, like 4 to 5 favorite in that race, and then came back to run third, I believe, in the Brooklyn after that, which was pretty huge. And that was also in the mud. So I think probably will be a win contender, definitely. I could probably just go 6-9 in this one and be comfortable, but I included some more. I included Bill Mott and Joel Rosario in timeout as well. Just the speed figures are looking pretty good. Curlin Stakes for 135K was a pretty solid third place in that one. So can't complain there after breaking the maiden. So looking to drop in class and was third versus tougher. So I think that's going to be an include. So leg one is going to be probably 6, 7, 9, and 10. So we will move on to leg two, which is the Lake Placid. Refer to my video for all the picks on that. But leg two, I did go 5, 7, 10 for the spread, just for FYI purposes. And now we go, excuse me, just a second, to the Alabama. Same thing. Go check out the video for the picks. But I did go 3, 6, 7 for leg three. Now we jump over to race 11, which is a allowance race going 8 furlongs on the dirt out of the Wilson chute. So that's important to know for post positions and running style. So the first horse that came to mind was Yo Daddy. The first two didn't really look too appealing. The Yo Daddy, Linda Rice, Jose Lascano, has the best dirt speed. Just didn't quite get there against Game Warden, who we just previously talked about, that jumped up to a 110K race. This is a 50K. So we're looking at Yo Daddy. The running style is sustained closer, but seems to be up a little bit closer to the lead within a length or so at the stretch, which I like. Also adding blinkers to get a little bit more forwardly placed. I think Yo Daddy, I think Linda Rice is smart enough to know that you need a faster running style coming out of this 1 mile chute. So she's going to have Yo Daddy rolling. I think is going to be a promising potential single. We'll see. Number 4, Who's the King? I would include in underneath plays. Lots of good speed figures. The 98 2 back going 100K. Pretty solid effort there. Hot jockey trainer combo. T-Gaff and Safi. Got 3 wins and 5 starts over the last 2 weeks. Win 99. I don't think I'll go with on this one. Just not quite there as far as the price goes. Have You Heard is an interesting one. These all ran in the same race, basically. The allowance for 50K. This one led all the way through. It was 1 1/8. So we're cutting back to a mile and just going that slight turn. So I think Have You Heard will be closer on to the lead than previously expect. Well, it was on the lead, obviously set the pace, but I think will hold the lead longer. Might get caught down the stretch, but should have a little bit more factor in there. Irad's second time out riding him, I think will make a difference. Mike Maker, I always like him. He's just a 21% trainer and just a really, really solid all around connections there, sired by Hardspun. So Have You Heard definitely would be used in exotics if you're betting the single race. Unlimited Potential I threw in at the bottom. I don't really think it's going to win this race. I don't like the outside post position. It is first in Prime Power, does have 100 speed, and is a front runner. So could definitely get out there and get it done. So I will probably include this one in the pick 5 just in case, because that speed is dangerous, but I don't like the outside post position. But without a whole lot of other speed in the race, I think that Unlimited Potential could get out there. Junior Alvarado gets it done. So, next race up is race number 12. This is 5.5 furlongs on the turf, maidens, fillies, and mares, 3-year-olds and upward, fold in New York State. So, narrowed it down to a few different ones in this race. Number 3, Heart of the Night. Number 5, Beautiful Thief. Number 6, Naughty Destiny. And number 8, Barefoot Disco. So, the number 3, when I went back and looked at the race, some of these are first time starters. I'm just immediately dismissing, unless they were some kind of amazing trainer with first time starters. I definitely dismissed the first 2. But then this one here, just nothing but solid efforts since DePaz took the reins from Mike McCarthy in the last 2. So I think they found a good spot for him. Really was good on the inside turn here. I watched this race, had a chance to take it, but just didn't quite get there. So I think maybe just a little bit more improvement. Heart of the Night's going to get there this time. Duchess of Normandy, no thanks. Beautiful Thief, I thought was in the actually 2-back, ran against Heart of the Night 2-back in this 85K, and was and the horse that won that race, I believe, Strictly Taboo, won next out. You can see that right there. Next up, down here, Beautiful Thief, I think was in the lead going 5.5 and had it and just could not get there. Was overtaken in the stretch just by a faster horse's closing. So I think an improvement. This is just going to be the second career start. I think with some improvement, George Weaver will have this one. Although he's not having the greatest of meets, he's just got one win. I think he can get this one up there. Naughty Destiny is the other one. Clement is 20% on the turf. So he is looking really good there. The stakes race wasn't very great, but the 75K maiden previous to that was a pretty solid effort. So Dylan Davis, low key, kind of good on the turf too, is one you could include. And number 8, Barefoot Disco, is an interesting one. And I don't know if you want to call it this angle, but it's Charlton Baker, who's doesn't really start a whole lot of horses, and saw Small Barn, Top Jockey is an angle. They don't get these jockeys to ride their horses that often, so they really must really think a lot of this one. And probably Pratt thought of as well, because he did ride it before, and it's coming back to try to improve on its efforts. So I think a Barefoot Disco is a definite improve. So that's going to do it for the horse races. And your final leg, I decided not to go with the 7 in leg 4. I'm going to just single the 3. I'll probably pay for it because my single last time cost me the pick 5. I actually had 4 out of 5, and I missed Tarifa at Ellis Park last week. Tarifa ran second. So looking for another bounce back on this one, but it is a 50-cent pick 5, and it only costs $72. We're going 6, 7, 9, 10 leg 1, 5, 7, 10 leg 2, 3, 6, 7 leg 3, single the 3, and then leg 5, 3, 5, 6, 8. You can finagle that around. You want to add in the 7 in leg 4, it's going to double the price of the bet. Or you could dial back in leg 5. I like to spread a little more in the last leg just to have options. If you happen to get there and you're live to the last race, you want as many options as you can. That's just kind of my philosophy on the whole thing. So that'll do it for the video. Hope you enjoyed it. Keep subscribing to the channel, sharing Billy Ho Sports with friends and neighbors alike, fellow horse racing enthusiasts. I appreciate all of you watching. Stay tuned for more great racing content coming down the pike. Until then, have a good weekend.